Nothing quite prepares you for the scale nor the grandeur of the monuments till you see them with your own eyes. The ramparts of the Mandu fort enclose an area of roughly about 45 square kilometers. And if we talk of the outer periphery, the area is even larger. It is estimated to be 75 square kilometers. And wherever you can see, there is a nice velvety emerald carpet of green grass of cover of foliage. And this is what reminds us what beauty of pristine nature constantly tells us. If man and nature live in harmony, what cannot be achieved? A city of joy can easily be established. And this is what this place was called. Mandu, Shadiabad, or City of Joy, Anandanagari.
Mandu Fort is 110 kilometers from Indore in Madhya Pradesh. One of the largest forts in India, it has been a witness to the vicissitudes of history and treasures myriad memories. The buildings here include mosques, temples, and impressive towers. Wide open spaces never let one feel that this is a military structure.
Mandavgad इतिहास की सुनो सुनाऊं आज मैं गाथा Mandavgad इतिहास की रूपमती और बाज बहादुर दो प्रेमी की गाथा ये रूपमती और बाज बहादुर.
The legend of Baj Bahadur and Roopmati is inseparable from this fort, but the history of Mandu is much older. Remains of Hindu palaces and mansions found here date back to the 11th century, to the period of Raja Bhoj of Dhar. With the decline of the Delhi Sultanate, the governor of Malwa, Dilawar Khan, was emboldened to declare himself independent, and his son and successor, Hoshang Shah, is considered the most illustrious ruler of Mandu.
मांडू एक ज़माने में हिंदुस्तान का सबसे बड़ा शहर रहा था और उस वक्त यहाँ पे 334 बड़े महल थे, 40 तालाब थे, 300 के लगभग मस्जिदें थी और 700 मंदिर थे. तो ये नॉर्थ से साउथ और साउथ से नॉर्थ आने जाने वाले वो व्यापारी, वो पिलग्रिम्स, वो तीर्थयात्री का मेन शहर पड़ता था. और जितना भी यूरोप को व्यापार होता था उत्तर भारत से, वो मांडू के माध्यम से ही होता था. लोग मांडू आते थे उत्तर भारत से, मांडू जाते थे महेश्वर, और महेश्वर में नर्मदा नदी है, जो एक ही नदी ऐसी है आर्यावर्त में जो ईस्ट टू वेस्ट जाती है और अरबियन सी में मिलती है.
Hoshang Shah decided to shift his capital to this remote place because it was considered safer. The road up to the high plateau passes through dense forest. Strong gates along the passage were built for added protection. Akbar demolished the thick ramparts after his forces captured the fort, to ensure that he would face no resistance in the future.
It is the key of the artery to the south, coming the imperial cities of Delhi, Agra. If you have to go to the Deccan and turn to Gujarat on one side, Bijapur to the other and Golconda to the third, then Mandu does lie, certainly for the western axis, as a crucial point somewhere in between.
Many different building styles are encountered in Mandu. In the medieval ages, the Sultans of Malwa were not only rich, but were also men of great taste. Diverse influences reached Mandu, inspiring architectural experimentation. The buildings are on a grand scale, and most are in the Turco-Afghan style, where stone and water bodies have been very well used.
It has been a place where the style of architecture from the earlier Hindu beginnings right to the best of Mughal traditions has been developed and can be seen simultaneously in various monuments at various locations within the same fort. So it seemed that the builders used it really as a very joyfully as experimental canvas to be able to develop what they had to. So if you see the domes of Jami Masjid, they are just drums which are somehow beginning to speak about a certain style of architecture going from the tribated to the arcuated. Whereas in the later monuments you would see the full development of an onion dome, as in the Hushang Shah tomb, which is supposed to be the precursor of Taj Mahal as a conceptual basis.
One of the most beautiful buildings in Mandu is the mausoleum of Hushang Shah. Built entirely of white marble, it stands out from other buildings. Though it reflects Persian design with a beautiful square garden framing it, the overall impression is of Turco-Afghan masculine strength, and there is no trace of Persian finesse.
All the monuments, no matter how beautiful they individually may be, but they are so intrinsically meshed with the natural environment and its setting that is what makes Mandu definitely a very special place.
Work on the Jama Masjid, cast in the mold of the Great Mosque of Damascus, was started by Hushang Shah. It is very impressive due to its large dimensions. 58 domes adorn its roof. They also served to amplify the sound when the Maulvi preached his sermon.
The very fact that it was designated officially as one of the 4 imperial capitals of the Mughal Empire certainly indicates that it was a part of the vision, the sense of, as it were, the dream, certainly in the time of Jahangir.
The Ashrafi Mahal too was begun by Hushang Shah and was completed by his son-in-law Mahmud Khilji. The old building stands in ruins, and the only surviving walls, pillars and arches allow us to imagine its lost beauty. Mandu was much loved by Jahangir and Nur Jahan. Legend has it that once during their stay here, Jahangir had covered the steps leading to this palace with Ashrafis, gold coins, so that Nur Jahan didn't have to step on stone. It is believed that the name Ashrafi Mahal commemorates the event.
When Jahangir went to Mandu along with Noor Jahan, he liked it very much. And by that time, Shah Jahan also, after conquering Deccan, he had also reached there. And then Noor Jahan had arranged a dinner also in honor of Shah Jahan. So at that time, the entire area they had lighted, and that was the Diwali season also. So the Diwali ceremony was celebrated there along with Shah Jahan, Noor Jahan and Jahangir. And the whole ceremony in Tuzuke Jahangiri, they have called it as Jashne Chirag.
The Jahaz Mahal is a unique building inside the fort. It is placed between two water bodies to create the illusion that one is sailing on a large ship. This building is one of the finest examples of the evolving architecture in the Malwa region.
If we look at Jahaz Mahal or any other building in the Royal Palace complex, its interface with water, the way it has been sited, the way the Jahaz Mahal has been sited between two lakes to resemble a ship, that whole setting has so much of impact on the monument itself that these two become inseparable from each other.
The Jahaz Mahal was certainly not designed as a residential apartment. It appears to have been designed for recreational purposes. The Sultans of Malwa used it to indulge in sensual pleasures.
Some of the most cherished memories of Mandu are those related to communal harmony. Whoever may be the ruler of Mandu fort, may he be a Hindu or a Muslim, people of all communities, all religions stayed here harmoniously. This was the place which was famous for its Sufi saints. This is where Brahman Pandits showed off their prowess, and this is where lived Vaishya traders who contributed to the prosperity of this estate.
Hoshang Shah started work on Hindola Mahal in 1425. It was completed much later. The effect sought was of a swing. The upper part of this very skillfully constructed building is almost ruined, but enough remains to let us appreciate the beautifully wrought doors and windows.
Like Tughlaq architecture, it was a slopy architecture. Because of this slopiness, they used to feel that the building used to swing from one place to another place. That is why the name has been given, but it was used as a Aam Sabha and a Khas Sabha, or a Diwane Aam and Diwane Khas.
The complex of palaces within the fort lie in ruins today. But there was a time when the walls of the Jal Mahal were covered with beautiful decorations. Water bodies and stepwells were part of the landscaping. All these testify to the aesthetically rich and opulent lifestyle in Mandu that made it exceptional.
गयासुद्दीन खिलजी का जो टाइम था वो जैन धर्म का गोल्डन पीरियड कहलाता है। जो यहाँ का रूलिंग पावर था वो तो सुल्तानों के पास में था, लेकिन जो पूरी इकोनॉमी जो थी, जो मनी पावर जो था, वो यहाँ के जैन और हिंदुओं के पास में था। तो यहाँ बहुत सारे उस ज़माने में मांडू की जो मॉन्यूमेंट्स बिल्डिंग्स आप देखेंगे तो दूर से देखने में आपको लगेगा जैसे अफगान आर्किटेक्चर, मुस्लिम आर्किटेक्चर बना हुआ है, लेकिन आप जब अंदर जाएंगे तो वहाँ आपको भगवान की, जैन की या हिंदुओं की मंदिर या मूर्तियाँ देखने को आपको मिलेगी।
Statues and their fragments strewn all over tell us how rich and pluralistic the legacy of this place is. One can easily imagine how beautiful Mandu must have been in days gone by.
If you take a compass and keep it next to any of the monuments, you would see that wherever, no matter wherever they may be, they are all sited north and south. But from one monument to other, there is a complete visual link. So valleys, intervening valleys and low points have been used for this visual corridor. And all the monuments are situated on high points. So when you look at one from the other, you see clear views with the natural environment forming a nice sprawling foreground for the same.
Construction of the Baj Bahadur Mahal was started by Nasir-ud-din Khilji in the beginning of the 16th century. The courtyard of this building has square water tanks that once had fountains playing in them. Baj Bahadur was a man who pursued pleasure seriously and loved the arts. He persuaded his beloved Rupmati to accompany him to Mandu. The towers of Rupmati Pavilion can be seen from the roof of Baj Bahadur Mahal.
रूपमती मंडप प्रतिहारों के समय से ही एक वाच टावर था, सुरक्षा चौकी। वहाँ पर सैनिक तैनात रहते थे जिससे कि दक्षिण से आने वाले दुश्मन की सेना की निगाह रखी जा सके। यही वो जगह है जहाँ से भौगोलिक विभाजन होता है। मालवा का पठार समाप्त होता है और निमाड़ वहाँ से चालू होता है और वहाँ से लगभग 30-35 किलोमीटर दूर की गतिविधियों पे आसानी से देखा जा सकता है। सुरक्षा की दृष्टि से वो महत्वपूर्ण जगह थी, इसलिए उस समय के शासकों ने इसको एक वाच टावर के रूप में स्थापित किया था।
Folklore has a different, more romantic explanation to offer. We are told that Baj Bahadur got this pavilion erected to enable Rupmati to gaze at the Narmada River, known locally as the Reva, her beloved river. Underground reservoirs were built here to harvest rainwater. A subterranean tunnel leads towards the towers. According to legend, Rupmati began her day after taking a bath here in the waters of the Reva.
रूपमती और बाज बहादुर दोनों ये संगीत प्रेमी थे। बाज बहादुर का प्रिय राग था भूप और रूपमती कल्याण गाती थी। तब दोनों ने मिलकर एक नया राग बनाया था, भूप कल्याण।
The romance of Baj Bahadur and Rupmati has inspired scores of painters and folk artists. The lovers have been immortalized in different schools of miniature paintings: Rajput, Kota, Bundi, Kishangarh, Kangra, and in Deccani Kalam.
Rupmati was a Hindu and Baj Bahadur was a Muslim. But there was no such thing in the folklore that you are a Hindu and you are a Muslim, and therefore, in fact, folklores have been more secular than many other forms of creative expression. Even now, you'll have people going up and saying, from here, Rupmati used to do darshan of Narmada every day, and only after that she will eat. And this is the part of the folklore. You have masks and things, and you have this Narmada darshan by Rupmati. Now, how much of it is true or untrue is beside the point.
The fort of Mandu is a vast and rich treasure trove of culture. The challenge is to protect and conserve the riches scattered in a space spread so wide. Increasing popularity among tourists has added to pressure on the environment. Construction, justified in the name of development, is also encroaching on the monumental heritage, threatening its existence.
Mandu is a living heritage site. So here we are talking about a very, very complex site. Now we are standing here on the terrace of Baz Bahadur's palace. What you see behind is the Roopmati pavilion. Intervening between the two are again agricultural fields. Now suppose somebody was to sell this land away to a private entrepreneur and he decides to build a hotel there. What would happen? This whole visual linkage between the two monuments would completely get rogered. So what we are talking of here is not only intervening within the boundaries of the heritage complexes, but also understanding that beyond the physical boundary, there is something called the visual boundary here.
It is imperative to strike a balance between conservation and development. The law alone can't accomplish this. This requires sensitivity and far-sighted vision. Places that were once vibrant are silent and desolate today. Monuments dedicated to Darya Khan, Gada Shah and other ruins tell the tale of the architectural glory of Mandu. The environs continue to be seductive. Romance is deeply embedded in the soil here. The monsoon is magical. This pilgrimage of love becomes even more attractive during the rainy season.
चारों तरफ हरियाली और उनके बीच में किले, उनके खंडहर और उनके बाकी बचे हुए वो अवशेष जो इतिहास की एक बड़ी प्यारी गौरव गाथा सुनाते हैं। प्रकृति जिस तरीके से अपना खजाना लुटाती है और श्रावण में जब मांडू ऐसा लगता है कि पूरे 16 श्रृंगार करके जैसे दुल्हन निकलती है, ऐसे मांडू सज कर खड़ा हो जाता है अपने पास आने वाले सैलानियों का स्वागत करने के लिए।
ऐसी ठंडी पड़े रे बुआ, सावन आयो रे, कि सावन आयो रे, कि सावन आयो रे, कि सावन आयो रे, काल तलैया भरी गया।
Showers of rain rejuvenate the scorched earth. They wash the monuments that are covered with grime. The pouring rain refreshes the body and mind. Only for a few moments, maybe, Mandu returns to its happy past, when it was Shadiabad or Anand Nagari, a city of joy.